So I watched The Fabelman last night, and it really got me thinking. If you're not familiar with the Fableton, it's a story of Steven Spielberg and his life growing up as a kid, and I guess how he turned into who he is today and what he's accomplished. And and the movie is really good. It's different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to lead all the way up until his first major film, but kind of left off before that all got started. And it was very, very, very interesting. But it was also troubling. It was sad. It was funny. It was all of those things. Now, this is not a movie review. This is just, today I'm going to talk about the impact that movie had on me and really what it made me think about as it relates to what we do, which is create music. You know, the one thing that I'll take creativity-wise out of it is he ultimately had a deep, deep, deep passion for what he's doing. It started at a very young age, was almost kind of pushed into it. And then once he had that nudge, he fell into it, and he fell into it hard. And we've all benefited from that. And I think that's the same way for a lot of us. You know, what was important to him is that he made movies that moved people, not just entertained them, but moved them, thought-provoking. You know, got matters of the heart, matters of anger, matters of love, matters of passion, all the various things that move us in this world. You know, and we've got a lot of people over the course of time that have written and recorded a lot of music that moves us, that truly invokes something in us beyond just making us want to dance and to move. And I guess when I say move, I'm not talking about dancing and, you know, makes you want to get up and shake your body and all of that stuff. You know, there's always going to be a need for that. There's always going to be a need for that kind of a music, and it should be celebrated too. But I think, you know, looking back in time, when you look at the 70s as an example, and the music, you know, I've still got young kids. I've got kids all the way from 17 up to 38. And, you know, and I think I'm pretty in touch with what younger people like these days. And my kids, they listen to as much music from the 70s as they do from the current era, which surprised me. There's no longer these cliquish modes that young people get into. And it makes me wonder, why are they going back to that? Are there not counterparts today? And when I think about the 70s were the greatest impact on me, because that's really the era I grew up in. You know, I was born in the early 60s, but the 60s didn't impact me. I was still born in 64. So, you know, the 70s were impactful for me in a major, major way. And I'm not saying this because that happened to be the era that impacted me the most, because I was also impacted by the 80s as well. But there's a lot of thought-provoking music, inspirational, moving music that came from that era. We had poets writing liquids, lyrics, you know, and they were masterful, done in a way that would really kind of move you. I mean, that's really what I'm talking about. And I think a lot of that is missing today in the mainstream music. You know, they're out there. There's no question they're out there, but it's not mainstream anymore. And I wonder how you guys feel about that. Because if there's anything to take away from this video today, it's try to make music that moves people, that really makes people think, feel deep in their body, in their heart. You know, try to find a way, if you have it in you. Not all of us have it in us. But just like I learned from Steven Spielberg, which is the case for many of us, it certainly is me, although, you know, I obviously didn't become as successful as he did, but that's a deep, deep, deep passion for the art, a deep passion for the art. And I know most all of you have it. Most all of you have it. Some of us have it more than others. Some of us are more talented than others. Wish I could get my words out this morning. But, you know, no matter how talented you are, no matter how talented I may or may not be, I do what moves me. I do what makes me happy and what brings me joy. And if it happens to bring somebody else joy, then that's great too. But I'm looking to move myself first by pouring my life and my heart out into what I do. And I wonder if all of you do that. I wonder how you do that. I hope you're doing that. Instead of trying to create music that's like everybody else's. We've all been there. We've all done that at different stages. I know I did. It's been a long time ago, but I know I did a long time ago because I didn't have the knowledge and the understanding of life that I do today. But I haven't done that in a very long time. I try to write my own music that moves me, and if it can move others, then great. So if you have it in you, if you have the ability to do that, try it. Try it. I think you'll be surprised because I think the world needs music that moves us. I think it's been missing for some time, probably since the 90s. We went through a kind of a revolution in the 90s where it was really all about that. Now, a lot of that was more darker in tone, but there's a need for that too. Not everything has to be uplifting, but if it moves you, if you can actually pour your heart and your soul out into your music, that is the kind of music that will stand the test of time. Just like my kids go back to different eras because there's something lacking today. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with today's music. I'm not saying that at all. There's so much music out today that's really good. But I'm hard-pressed to find in the mainstream music and what's listened to the most and played the most and on Spotify playlist and Apple Music playlist, songs of the day. I don't hear much of it. I don't hear much of it at all. And I want to find it. But others rely on people like us to get that music. So if you have it in you, write some music, create some music that moves people. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.